woke up one day. This guy received the will of God. He told him to build a big boat because the flood is coming. But when others saw him building a boat, they all mocked him. Even his wife and children couldn't stand it and left him. When everyone thought what he did was a joke, suddenly disaster struck as he said, "That guy is a talented broadcaster." Today he was promoted to a member of parliament. For a better life, and for being convenient for work, he brought his family to live in a luxury villa, surrounded by mountains. The night before he became a full-fledged parliament, Evan prayed God for being able to do something that can change the world. He thought that prayers are just ordinary prayers. Who would have thought that his sincerity was accepted by God? The next day, when he woke up like every other day, the strange thing was that he set the alarm at 7 a.m. but it rang at 6:14 a.m. When he woke up, he would prepare everything properly. After everything is perfect, he will go to work. But as soon as he got to the house, Evan discovered a wooden box outside. The couple opened the box curiously and saw that it was filled with carpentry work. The two of them couldn't understand what these were for either and thought that someone had accidentally sent them to the wrong address. Without thinking about it, Evan just went to work. But when he was a congressman, he had a lot of work to do. He couldn't do it all at the company but had to take it home. That made his kids unhappy because Evan promised them to hang out after work. The next day, the alarm clock rang again at 6:14 a.m., making Evan not understand what was going on. And today, a pile of wood was sent to his door. He ran out to ask the driver, but he was just the one hired to drive here. It's clear that the address on the paper is 614 and Evan's home address is 416. Knowing that there was a mistake here, he wanted to see where the address was. But no matter how he had tried to look up, there was no result. And on the TV his child was watching, the number 614 appeared again. Evan began to doubt why it had to be that number. Maybe it was a message from God. He quickly ran to find the holy book. As expected, inside wrote that God wanted him to build a big wooden boat. When he went to check the newly delivered wood pile, suddenly an old man appeared on the pile. He claimed to be God and wanted Evan to build a big boat. But Evan didn't believe in it. He just thought it's the rumors of this strange man. Evan immediately refused because his congressman's work was very busy at the moment. However, when he turned around, the man disappeared. Is what he said true? But when he went to work, suddenly he appeared in your car. He immediately ran to the police to ask for help. Who would have thought that the policeman also had the face of the other man? That old man kept showing up everywhere. Is it possible that he met ghosts during the day? He thought that due to fatigue from work he got hallucinations. After joining the parliament, Evan was quickly favored by his seniors. This is the most powerful and prestigious predecessor of the National Assembly. He took advantage of Evan and offered him a part in a huge property project. Evan saw that the opportunity had come, so he decided to ignore the old man. But somehow, the strange old man still appeared in front of him. This made Evan so scared that he fainted immediately. When he regained consciousness, the man appeared again and told him to build a big boat according to the word of God. After listening to it, Evan continued to faint. When he got home, he went online to search for the story of Mr. Noah. He was also warned by God and built a big boat with 3 sons. Coincidentally, Evan also has 3 sons. After that, a lot of strange things happened to him. The first is that all the numbers he had seen are 614. Then all the animals had appeared in pairs. Not only that, they also gathered in his office. Those animals made him unable to work. He had to escape from work, but the animals chased and surrounded him even in the car. Just then the old man reappeared next to Evan. He took him to the hill and showed him the forest ahead. It turns out that this is the primeval forest where the other animals lived. People had recently tried to destroy this place and turned it into a residential area. God told him there was going to be a great flood here, so he had to quickly build a ship to save the animals here. After going through these things, Evan began to believe that the old man in front of him was God. Even though he didn't know if it's true, he still accepted the shipbuilding quest. After saying that, God gave Evan a guidebook to build ships. God was worried that there would be nowhere to build and hold the big ship, so he used Evan's mansion as collateral to buy a large piece of land next to the house. Moreover, he also sent a lot of trucks to transport timber to Evan. Seeing how thoughtful God was, Evan also worked and took care of his family at the same time. Because of lack of technology and experience, everything was very difficult. He unfortunately had the leg crushed by the wood, or hit the hand with the hammer himself. The fall happened so much that it was impossible to count. After 2 days of hard work, the ship finally formed. To make Evan fit with the role, God also gave him many more interesting things. For example, his beard could not be shaved off. His hair grew longer every day. Just like that, when he came to the company, all eyes were set on him. Yet God gave him an old, ancient robe that once he put it on, he could not take it off anymore. Looking at it like this, he couldn't go to work anymore. And there's an important meeting coming up. Evan had come up with a solution that he would wear a robe on the inside, and on the outside he would wear a suit to cover it up. Everything was going very well until he stood up to speak, and his shiny suit was gone. Instead, it was that old robe, making everyone frozen. Evan really didn't know how to explain it to everyone. Then a herd of animals rushed into the room. They surrounded him, causing the meeting to become unstable. Faced with thousands of questions from his superiors and journalists, Evan explained that it was all God's will. He wanted him to build a large ship, and said there would be a historic flood at noon on September 22nd. And of course, everyone who witnessed it didn't believe what Evan said, but Evan thought it was an important mission. At the moment, the TV was also going live, and Evan's wife and children also watched this embarrassing scene. His wife was then very angry and disappointed. She left with 3 children. Evan had nothing left then. He could only follow God's will and continue building boats. But Evan's strange outfit and bizarre actions had attracted many people. When they found out that he was building a giant ship, everyone laughed at him. They even thought Evan was seriously crazy. The media was racing to cover his work. Evan quickly became a laughing stock for everyone. In the face of their ridicule, Evan became even more determined. He wants to prove that what he had said is not a lie. Seeing Evan alone working hard, God must also feel touched. He pretended to be a waiter to meet Evan's wife. God told her that the most important thing between husband and wife was companionship and trust. After hearing what God said, she understood. Hence, she took the children back to the ship. Evan's hair turned gray, but he was also very happy that his wife and children finally came back. After that, God also sent many big animals here. From now on, Evan wouldn't have to do it alone, but there would be these animals to help him. Thanks to this, the work would also proceed much more smoothly. When the journalists came to film, they were chased away by 2 lions. Thanks to the help of all the animals, they were able to finish the ship on September 22nd. To witness this moment with their own eyes, all the residents of the city and the media reporters flocked here. But September 22nd is also the day that the fat congressman had planned to clear this land. He wanted to make this area an amusement park, and he asked Evan to destroy this ship, or else he would send someone to destroy it. However, Evan believes in God, so he still does his will. Under Evan's call, all the animals in the nearby forest got on the boat, but the people there didn't believe him. How could it be a flood when the sky was clear and cloudy like this? They mocked Evan and treated him as a farce. The time was coming, but the sky was still very blue, and now the secret congressman sent a car to destroy the ship. He forced Evan to take off the ship to demolish. When the demolition team was about to force the boat, the hydroelectric dam broke again. The floodwaters waters on the mountain poured down. The people who mocked Evan were extremely scared. Everyone frantically ran to the boat. Only now they realized that everything Evan said was true. When the last people boarded the boat, the floodwaters came. The flood flattened everything it passed, leaving only Evan's big ship. Evan was right to listen to the will of God. Now no one dares to look down on Evan anymore. The ship then slowly moved towards the bridge. If this kept going on, the ship would surely be destroyed. At this moment, Evan slowly moved forward. He raised his hand to ask God for help. Sure enough, then a big wave appeared that directly deflected the boat in the other direction. Then the wave took it straight to the U.S. Congress building. The fat congressman inside was still discussing how to build a strong country for rich people. Outside, the ship of Evan was still rushing until it touched the Parliament building. It stopped. All the people and animals on the ship were saved, and the cause of the dam failure was quickly clarified. It turned out that the fat congressman bribed to replace the cement with stone powder, and this broke the dam and caused this tragedy. He was quickly taken away by the police for investigation. Soon after Evan was returned to work in Parliament, the beard and cape were also gone. God came to find Evan again. He thanked him for allowing him to do great things. Maybe from now on, he would become a messenger of God.